Well, I've been sick for the past week. Hopefully my voice isn't too raspy for you guys today. But welcome on in, everybody. Today, I decided to play my favorite build. I made some big changes to it, and holy crap, it hits crazy hard with this setup. What can I say? This build already hits hard, but we put the winged leather shoes on. I've gone for the rune glass and everything. That's right, I actually went all out on a build. It's not often that I'll put a lot of investment into a build like this, so I got quite a bit of footage today. I hope you guys enjoy it. Of course, there is a build breakdown at the end of the video, and there is a written guide linked down below if that's more your style. And now, without further ado, let's take a look at, in my honest opinion, one of, if not the best PvP build in the game right now. So, as you guys know, Fire Staff is really strong. The burns that it puts on are absolutely amazing. We're running Inferno on this guy, and it not only makes our Fire Staff hit crazy hard, but that Rapier on this build just stings people. And I like this clip here. We do start with a bit of a pocket healer, which honestly, I never have a healer, so I'm really happy if I can get one. But you can see there are a lot of enemy players at the spawn, and they're slowly coming out more and more. And I just kind of wait here because I want to get the drop on them. I go for the burnout on the side of the hill. It actually lets me go up the hill with it. And this guy flamethrowers. Oh man. We hit him right away with the incinerate. He goes down, and a huge rapier combo on that guy as he comes around the corner in onslaught stance. And we just nuke him too. And again, we go halfway up the hill so we can use the burnout to get the rest of the distance up there. Then I jump on top of this guy here. He tries to eat some food. He unfortunately blows his stamina rolling. And we're just going to get a few pokes with the rapier to finish him off. And it looks like the healer has gotten out of this fight now. So I just back up behind the bit of rocks to get a little line of sight here. And I try again for the burnout. See how I didn't roll up the hill that time, so it didn't end up working. But this guy jumps down. I get a nice incinerate, cancel the fireball rollout on him. Oh my god. And then just so much damage with the rapier. He ends up going down. And again, I'm just kind of trying to reset and see if we can lure some more players in here. I hope that this guy would jump down a little sooner. Unfortunately, he has immunity from coming out of the spawn, and I get blasted from every angle from these guys. I quickly pop my ultimate. I go around the side here. Again, we got to get as much line of sight as possible now that they're off the edge of this cliff. And we get good damage on that burnout. Big connection on the fireball. And I get on top of him with the rapier, and we give him a few more pokes. And down he goes. We're just catching these guys with their stam down. And yeah, I, of course, end up just dying there. I squirrel around for a little bit longer, but let's move on to the next clip. Here you can see we're in the enemy outpost, and I jump on top of the first player that comes around there. I managed to get a really good trade thanks to Flurry, but this other player jumps on top of me right away, and I'm getting blasted from the range players too. I thought I was out of range from his greatsword there. He manages to turn and swing it just in time, and there's a really nice incinerate into the Flurry, just setting up that combo. He ends up going down. Those greatsword players, when they enter onslaught stance, it just leaves them open to get bursted. And I just kind of crawl back here. I know that they're still shooting at me from the tower, so I want to avoid that. And I do land a nice fireball on the hatchet player. He ends up backing up right away, and it looks like he is out of juice. He can't roll. So we just get a few pokes in the backstab there, and down he goes. And then I head back inside here to finish off this spawn. This OPR game was just a battle to get inside this outpost. I don't know what to say. But I do manage to take the spawn down, and it looks like two enemy players inside of here. One of them shooting at me, the other one with his greatsword and spear. We managed to catch a nice incinerate stagger there on him. Again, the incinerate itself is such a good tool for staggering, but it also does some pretty decent damage, and applying that burn to give it a lot more damage over time. And I just kind of in an awkward spot there. I do manage to escape through the immobilize from the axe there, just waiting out the burnout. And then a nice spin on the rapier to get behind this guy. Unfortunately, he ends up still getting that stun, but we drop down and we throw the fireball on him, roll cancel out of that, and he ends up going down. And I decide not to chase this guy because I do want to try to flip this back flag, and I know he's just going to come back in. And this is a much better spot for us to fight, I think. So yeah, he ends up... Oh man, he rolls a little bit too many times there. We get good damage on him, but he manages to escape with his hatchet, and then he throws his hatchet stuff at me, and I manage to catch him with the burnout, and there is the fireball. Holy crap. Fire staff, man. No aim required. Absolutely love it. For someone like me who has bad aim, I cannot complain. And this poor guy, he's getting chased by our Zerg, and down he goes. Moving on to the final clip, I believe, for this video. Just a little short one for you guys today, since I've been so sick. But hanging out in the middle outpost here, these two snipers end up jumping on me and trying to kill me. I get really good damage on the first one, and this second one, we hit with a burnout into fireball, and he dies. This man has like 8k health. Oh my gosh. And then I head to the enemy outpost. Both of these guys end up coming back for round 2. So I managed to get a good incinerate actually there. The spear player did get hit by it, but the second player manages to get the stun on me just as I finish off the first one there. And of course, we go for that weave as we walk towards him, make him miss his shots. Unless he's using that aimbot, then we're in big trouble. But that's okay, he's not. And then I eat the spear stun from this guy, and I right away get the evade around him, and then go for the flurry. Huge damage on these squishy musket guys. We managed to take him down again, and then the last musket player ends up coming in here. Oh my gosh, he ends up going for the flurry. I flurry behind him. Look at that flesh, man. The first hit of flesh almost hit 4k. These guys have 8k health. This is absolutely crazy the damage this build has. We could literally kill these guys in a single flesh if we land 2 crits. That is so scary. And more enemy players end up coming on in here, and I just get behind a little bit of cover. We're just going to throw some fireballs. I end up missing that fireball. That might have been enough to kill him there, but that's okay. We turn on the Ice Gauntlet player as he comes up the side here. We get good damage with the flurry, and I decide to drop off the edge because, yeah, it's really dangerous for us to try to stick up there and get shot at by all the ranged players. So close to taking this guy down, but he just manages to escape out of it. I go for the flesh, and unfortunately, he just squirrels away. And I find myself in a really nasty spot here. I'm forced to pop my ultimate, and this is lots of direction changing. I mean, we get lucky here for sure, but I think the fact that we kept weaving through them definitely threw them off. And here I go for the burnout. We managed to land on the healer, but he unfortunately is standing in his healing stuff. And of course, we're going to get sniped out, and that is that. Here is a quick look at the build for you guys. The attribute points, you've got to run 100 dexterity. Seriously, if you're running Rapier Fire Staff, it makes the Rapier hit so much harder if you run the dex than if you don't. And the Fire Staff actually benefits a lot from those percent passives too. We're running the winged leather shoes, so the swiftness on Rapier, any hit that we land will actually grant us that bonus. So all we have to do is land a hit with Rapier to get it. And then the Fire Staff, when we activate an ability, we get 7.5 seconds of the haste. Now, in OPR, I also used the speed food, and the speed food counts towards the winged leather shoes. In fact, the winged leather shoes actually increase the speed food's duration from 10 minutes to 15 minutes. So yeah, we have that damage bonus up literally all the time in OPR, which is really good. And then here's a look at the weapons here. I did manage to get myself a new rapier with those beta coconuts. And I threw the fire enchant on that one. We're going full fire damage on this. You can see that all of the gear has the increased fire attack, and even on the ring, I've got the fire damage too. You could go for a Purifying Heart. Honestly, I really like Purifying Heart, but we're trying to go for that big glass cannon damage. Maybe not 2 glass cannon, but huge damage on this build. And then we've got those winged leather shoes, of course. You've got to have 1 hasted vigor for all PvP builds, but especially for this build because we do have the winged shoes on. And then this jewelry is perfect. You could use whatever artifact piece you want here. Really up to the user. Anyhow, that is the build, guys. I'm going to get back to streaming again, so I'm starting to feel better. I hope to see you guys there. I hope that you enjoyed the best build in the game. I don't know if it is. Honestly, for me it is. I don't play any build better than this one. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you next time.